Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Press Box, where we give you our thoughts and views and we lay it on the table for you guys. Welcome in. I'm Timmy,
And I'm Steven.
and we are here to answer the call. Good morning. Happy Thursday, guys. We've almost made it through the week. I'm excited for tonight.
Tonight's going to be a good one.
Tonight is going to be a good one. We got Thursday night football. We got some college football. And then we will talk about the key games coming up this weekend and the prime time matchups. There are a few good ones.
It's a good weekend for football.
Which one are you most excited for?
That Texas-Georgia game.
I think that's everybody's favorite right now. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm excited for Georgia, Texas, and I'm excited for Bama, Tennessee, and I'm actually kind of curious to see how the LSU and Arkansas game goes, and we'll give our predictions on those games and more as the show goes on. So Tom Brady is, if you guys missed it, we were going to talk about it on yesterday's show, and it kind of slipped through the cracks. Tom Brady is now a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, which now officially means that he cannot play quarterback for any team in the NFL. What do you think about that?
It's interesting. I mean, it's been talked about for a hot minute about Brady, possibly owning part of the Las Vegas Raiders, and it finally happened. So it's interesting. And it'd be interesting to see how his broadcasting career goes, because I don't know if you've seen the rules that he has to abide by while in the broadcast booth, but if he doesn't agree with the penalty, he can't talk bad about it. He can't talk bad about the officiating. He can't have access to any of the pregame stuff that he normally has access to. So it'll be interesting to see how that all works out.
There is speculation that one of his first moves as like a part owner is to maybe try to entice Billy Bill Belichick to come be the new coach of the Raiders. I don't know.
I mean, to each their own, I guess.
Would this still not be? I mean, him becoming minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders is kind of already like a ultimate screw you, because many believe that against the Raiders is kind of where it all started. The Tuck rule and all that. It'll be real interesting to see what is going to come out of this, how he handles being part owner.
I mean, he only owns 10%, so I don't know how much he's really going to try and do.
Yeah.
That's where it, like, and I'm trying to figure out whether Mark Davis just, gave him part ownership for the name recognition to try and, hype up the Raiders, or whether he's genuinely like, hey, let's bring Tom on board, and maybe he has some ideas that I haven't necessarily thought about.
And that could very well be. That could be. Tom is a very, he's a pretty smart guy when it comes to football, so he knows a thing or two, and obviously he's got the rings to back it up. So it'll be really interesting to see. I want to share with you, while we're on this talk of minority owners. Did you hear who could become a minority owner?
I don't think I did.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says Taylor Swift is eligible to buy a minority stake in the Chiefs. If she's interested, I think she has the ability to do it.
Not going to happen, though.
Not going to happen? Why?
because the Chiefs have always been a family-run business. I don't think the only. I mean, what's the incentive there? You already get the name recognition from her showing up to games.
Ah,
There's just not much incentive, and literally it's been in the Hunt family. Like nobody else owns that. It's the Hunt family that owns that.
well, here's my take on it. I agree with you. First and foremost, I do agree with you. Okay, but here's my spin on it. Okay, what's her involvement needs? What will her involvement need to be once Travis Kelce retires? Because let's face it, she only goes to those games because she's dating Travis Kelce. What if they were to break up tomorrow? You know, she wouldn't care. She would go on with her life, and like the Kansas City Chiefs would just, she wouldn't even go to the games anymore. So
Yeah.
she's only there because she's dating Travis Kelce, guys. Let's not, blow things out of proportion here on a Thursday. Not on a Thursday, but things that we can blow out of proportion on a Thursday is some football. Um, some football. We like talking football. And we actually have some games tonight. College. And I'm on the right day today. So we're going to try this again. In the college aspect tonight, we have Georgia State taking on Marshall at home. I like Marshall there. Marshall, I don't know, they just seem like they're the better team here.
Yeah, for sure.
That game's going to be on ESPN2. It looks like 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. The big college matchup tonight actually is Boston College and Virginia Tech. And that's actually one of the games that I wrote down that for us to talk about and predict. Virginia Tech's favored 7.5 at home. They seem like they're starting to come around a little bit. And their team is full of veteran players. There's a lot of juniors and seniors on that team. Boston College a couple of weeks ago almost got beat by Western Kentucky guys. So I like Virginia Tech at home.
Yeah, I'd say Virginia Tech at home. I mean, Boston College really doesn't scare me.
I
don't know.
I thought a few weeks back maybe Boston College had it, but
yeah, they definitely don't now.
They're not as good. They're not as good. So those are the two college games tonight. But we have more college games tomorrow, and of course all day Saturday, as well as tonight we have Thursday night football. Yeah, I like Thursday night football. I don't know if I like this one. This one has all the makings of a blowout. We got Denver Broncos coming to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints, they don't have Chris Olave. Now Shaheed is out, and his season might actually be done. Derek Carr, of course, isn't going to be playing. I really think that this has all the makings of a blowout. Sean Payton comes back to New Orleans, says, hey, here's my new quarterback, and shows New Orleans that he can win without Drew Brees. Because a lot of people are saying, well, you only got that Super Bowl because Drew Brees was your quarterback. This is going to be Sean Payton saying, hey, I can win ball games without Drew Brees. Bo Nix in that offense comes to New Orleans. I think the defense. I think New Orleans defense is going to get tired from being on the field too much, because I don't predict their offense being very spectacular.
Mm.
What?
Interesting.
Listen, you're without your star quarterback. You're without. Well, I mean, I say star. Your starting quarterback. Let me rephrase that, because he's not a star. He's average at best. But you are missing your stud wide receiver Chris Olave, and you're missing your other good receiver, Shaheed. There's three pieces of the offense. Not to mention, their center, Eric McCoy, their starting center, is still out. So this has all the makings of a Broncos win, a Broncos blowout in New Orleans.
That's interesting.
Oh, well,
That's real interesting.
well, let's hear your side of the story, bud.
I mean, I'm not saying the Broncos aren't going to win because I think they probably will, but to say it's going to be a blowout and no. I mean, Spencer Rattler did enough last week that you know he looked decent, and that was against a really good Bucks defense. Broncos don't have Patrick Surtain this week. I don't think. Um, I just don't see it being a blowout. I think the Broncos will win, and I think maybe Bo Nix will have a decent game. He really hasn't done much to impress me, to be honest.
They're winning ball games.
But I mean, yeah, they're winning ball games. It's not pretty. It's not good.
Steelers are winning ugly games. We still like Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is the reason Steelers are winning ball games. Can we say the same about Bo Nix?
Yeah. Bo Nix is making plays.
I disagree, sir.
Oh, hey, listen. Sir. Against the Los Angeles Chargers, I'm telling you right now, he made plays. They lost that game, yes, but he made some plays, boy. He put that team on his back, and he said, hey, come on in. Catch a ride with old Bo. And, I mean, they almost came back and beat the Chargers. I mean, after being down 23. So they were doing something right.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Hey, I got Broncos. Listen, I got Broncos, and as much as I don't want to say that the Broncos are going to blow out the Saints, but they are. I mean, it has all the makings of a blowout.
Mm-hmm. We shall see.
You're going to start a rookie quarterback, his second start on a short week, versus a rookie quarterback that has been playing all season. I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, the Broncos defense is a little bit better than the Saints, and the Broncos offense will be a lot better than the Saints offense. I'm gonna go 24-10 Broncos.
I'm a 24-21 Broncos. No, I'm going to go 24-21 Saints.
24-21 Saints. Okay. I like that. I like that you're trying to disagree, even though deep down you're not rooting, but you're picking the Broncos here.
I'd really like the Broncos to lose.
Well, I know what we would like, but I'm not giving you what we would like. I'm giving you what we think.
I'm giving you what I think. I can't even be serious. The Saints are going to win this.
Okay. He's sticking to it, guys. I can't change his mind, but he's sticking to it. I don't know. It just seems that it's a short week. I don't know. Maybe Spencer Rattler can turn it around. I'm sure a lot of people that are close to me would hope that I'm wrong on my take. I like the Broncos here. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's not a blowout. Maybe it's a close game. These are my predictions. These are my takes. I like the Broncos, and I think it will. If the Saints score more than 10, it'll be Broncos by a touchdown. But if not, it's going to be a blowout.
It's interesting, but I'll let you have it.
So, something really interesting I saw yesterday. Nick Chubb, during his recovery from his ACL, went back to his high school gym to work out and train instead of going into a club, a fancy gym, all this and that. He went back to his high school gym and he said, I wanted to go back where it all started. So Nick Chubb is actually going to be eligible to play in week 8.
Mm.
So I'm excited for that, guys. I'm real excited. I really hope he comes back and he's still the Nick Chubb of old because he was a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, he did. He went back to Cedartown. I didn't actually catch exactly where. I think it was Cedartown. But yeah, he went back to his high school gym where it all started, where Nick Chubb realized that he has a chance of being a great running back, and he has. He's been. And think if he didn't have these injuries. Like, think if he didn't get injured at Georgia. Think if he didn't get, the injury last year. Like, he probably would be a lot more dominant than what he already is. So,
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, man, I can't wait to see you back on that football field. I hope you have a great season. And who knows? Maybe he's a trade. Maybe he's on the trade block. The Browns seem like they're gonna gut the team. I mean, maybe they say, "Hey, Chubb, we'll send you to a playoff team in hopes that you can win a Super Bowl."
That'd be pretty cool.
I would like to see him on a playoff team. I'd like to see him, go to a team that could potentially win a Super Bowl. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only
sure.
a few. Vikings got Cam Akers, but I mean, if I had my pick over Nick Chubb and Cam Akers, I would take Nick Chubb all day long, even with the injury.
Yeah.
Even with that injury, I would take Nick Chubb. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Lions already have 2.
Yeah, they have two. The Lions don't need one.
Bears, I mean, you could put Swift in him, kind of offset.
Yeah.
Uh,
Trying to think of who else.
Bills, if they wanted to really just kind of, but they don't. I don't think they have the. I don't know what his salary cap looks like, but I don't feel like they would be able to take him on.
No, I don't think they would.
The reason that they were able to go get Amari Cooper is because the Browns actually reworked his deal. I think before the season started, and so the Bills are only responsible for like 800,000 of his contract. So that is how they were able to get him. I don't know if Chiefs would have the money. Is Pacheco coming back?
No, not this year.
Oh,
Chiefs would have the money, but I don't think that's too splashy of a move for the Chiefs.
yeah.
Hold on. Let me see here, because I have one in mind.
Okay. I'm over here trying to think myself. Chiefs, Jets already have 2 good backs. I don't feel like they're a playoff team. I mean, they might make the playoffs. Steelers already have 2 good backs. And I don't see the Browns trading to the Steelers in like division rival. Ravens don't need him, but oh my gosh, could you imagine that with him?
Oh my goodness. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, especially like if they ran like the split, like in shotgun, like the split backfield. Like, who's getting the ball? I like. I don't have anybody. You don't have anybody? I don't have anybody.
Sneaky, but what about the 49ers?
Oh.
They have 54 million in cap space, and his contract is only $1 million something, like for the year.
Oh, okay.
Especially if Christian McCaffrey's not able to come back.
Yeah, we still don't know about him.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even think about him. Okay, so there you have it. And he's probably not going to become, but that would be the most Brown thing we could ever think of is they got rid of Amari Cooper, then get rid of their stud back. So we're gonna play a little game here, okay? A little game. And I've got a list of these teams, and I'll tell you last year's record and this year's record, and you tell me who's the most impressive turnaround.
Okay.
Okay, so Indiana. Last year they were 3-9. This year they're currently 6-0. Miami Hurricanes. Last year they were 7-6. This year they're 6-0. BYU was 5-7 last year. They're 6-0. Nebraska was 5-7. They're 5-1. Army was 6-6. They're 6-0. Navy was 5-7. They're 5-0. All these teams, well, Nebraska's not ranked, but all these teams are, except for Nebraska, are currently ranked. Which one to you is the most impressive?
Indiana.
Yeah.
So Army is 6-0 right now. They went 6-6 last year.
So they're
right.
They have matched what they went last year.
But realistically, they could lose out the last 6 games
and go 6-6.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Same with Navy. Same with Navy. They're 5-0. They could lose their last 7 and go 5-7.
Yeah, there was one more team that you had mentioned that was pretty close.
Nebraska went 5-7. They're 5-1.
Yeah, so they could lose their last 6 games and go 5. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but to me, Indiana has already surpassed their win total from last year. They're undefeated. I mean, that just to me is more impressive.
They play in that Big Ten.
Yeah.
You know, you got BYU in the Big 12. Nebraska is in the Big. Is Nebraska in the Big Ten? I think Nebraska went to the Big Ten.
I believe so.
Anyway, BYU in the Big 12. Miami's in the ACC. Army and Navy are in the American Atlantic Conference or something.
Yeah.
The AAC.
And that's not to discredit anybody. Like, they're all having great seasons.
If this was like next week after maybe Army and Navy go ahead and win and surpass, I would definitely say Army and Navy, just because they didn't hit the transfer portal, and the players that are going there, like we said, they're going there to, be in the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it would definitely be Indiana. The coach has done a really great job. He's turned that franchise around, 3-9. And, well, he wasn't even the coach last year.
Yeah.
So the team went 3-9. Now he's 6-0. You know what he says to recruits?
No idea.
You know what his pitch is to a recruit?
What?
I win games. Google me. He's not wrong. If you actually look at his stats, everywhere he's been, James Madison, he turned James Madison around. All he does is win football games.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm all for it. I'm a big fan that Indiana's 6-0, and I'm happy to see some of these teams really turn their season around from a year ago. And some of these teams that, have kind of been at the bottom of the barrel or middle of the pack, it's just real nice to see. So, Indiana,
oh, for sure,
you have won the most impressive turnaround in our book. We got a lot of college games to talk about. A lot. In fact, we have, and some of these we're going to get, detailed. Obviously, the more prime time matchups, we're going to get a little more detailed in. So we're going to get started because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss it. Final answer, you're sticking with the Saints?
Yep.
Okay. I thought I'd ask. Sometimes he likes to change his mind. So
Not changing my mind.
okay, so Boston College and Virginia Tech. We already told you we're both on Virginia Tech. I think at home, Virginia Tech has a better chance. They have probably one of the best college entrances.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's for sure.
the coach just like gathers them all up, and all of a sudden they're inner Sandman plays, and the crowd's bouncing up and down. Probably one of my favorite college entrances. So I definitely like. I would probably pick Virginia Tech just off of their entrance alone.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, 7.5 point favorites at home. We definitely like Virginia Tech here. I need to get my pin because I want to see. Because I'm sure on some of these we're going to disagree, but who knows? We might agree on a lot of these. So next up is Florida State at Duke, who is favored by 3.5, or favored by 3. I'm sorry.
It's who?
Florida State and Duke.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Mm.
Did you hear about what happened with Florida State?
No.
So apparently, rewind all the way back to like week 1, I think it was, when they played Boston College.
Yeah.
This I don't know. This guy tweets out, if Florida State loses, I guess he's a fan of Florida State. I don't know. If Florida State loses to Boston College, I'll eat dog poop.
Okay, that's disgusting.
Hey, listen, I know, but this is what this man said. Well, Florida State lost. He deleted his tweet and did not post a video because he said he would eat it and post a video for reference.
Yeah.
Well, this man did not do that. And now Florida State is struggling. And somebody came out and said the only way to break the curse is dog poop has to be ate.
No shot.
And so it was like, and this guy like tweets out or something like the reincarnation of, and he gave the guy's username that, created the original post that says, if Florida State loses to Duke, I will eat dog poop to break the curse.
Absolutely not. That's crazy.
For that, I want to root for Duke. Like, I'm rooting for Duke, okay? Because I want to see if this happens. Like, I want to see if this guy lives up to what he says this time. I don't think he would. Realistically, though, I like Florida State here. Duke is, they're 5-1, and that's not taking anything away from Duke. I just think maybe Florida State on the road at Duke maybe pulls up the upset, and maybe the curse will be finally broken.
I'm gonna go Duke just for the sake of somebody said they were gonna eat dog poop.
Man, I hope and this is the game I hope I'm wrong on. I hope that Duke whips them. In fact, I hope Duke smacks them around, kind of like the Lions smacked around the Cowboys last Sunday.
Oh, you just had to bring that up, didn't you?
Hey, there's a guy at work that he's a Cowboy fan, and he has been hearing it. Oh boy, has he been hearing it all week long. And I was like, this isn't going to ever get old, and I'm not shutting up until at least next week. So,
that's got to be depressing.
Well, anyway, we're on the college side. We can make fun of Cowboys tomorrow. That is depressing, though. Oregon versus Purdue. Oregon is favored by 27.5 on the road at Purdue. We got the number 2 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, who just beat Ohio State last week. Set a stadium record of 60,129 on the road versus Purdue. And we talked about it. We talked about it earlier in the week. Purdue has a history of upsetting teams in the top 5. They're at home. They could do it.
Yeah, this isn't going to be one of those times.
Purdue could take them down. But no, they're not going to. Oregon's going to come in and do what Oregon is expected to do. And this 27.5, I wouldn't be shocked if it's closer to 30. So I like Oregon here.
Yeah, I like Oregon. They're the better team by far.
Oh, but oh boy, if Purdue does it, you all better be ready on Monday because I will be bringing it. Are you going to be bringing it?
On Monday, if Purdue lose it or win?
Yeah.
No, because they got lucky.
Oh, okay. No, we're bringing it. We're bringing the Thunder. Next up is Oklahoma State going to BYU. BYU is favored by 9.5. You know, BYU's got probably the I don't know, like the nice scenery around the stadium, nice views. You got the mascot, you know, that comes in, parachutes in. It's a home game. It's a home game.
Yeah, I like BYU here. I mean, the better team.
In the beginning of the season, I would have 100% said BYU did not stand a chance. Okay? The fact is they're 6-0, and that can't be taken away. They're obviously doing something right. Oklahoma State has actually struggled and done way less than what people have expected. You know, we were talking about could BYU win the Big 12? Well, the way for them to do that is right here, right now against Oklahoma State. Give me BYU. I like BYU.
Yeah,
I would actually like to go to one of their games just to experience like the scenery and the Cougar flying in. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool to be honest.
So this one, Notre Dame goes to Georgia Tech. Now Notre Dame is favored by 11.5 here. And I don't know, because Georgia Tech is kind of, one week they're really good, the other week they're not so much. They are home. And Notre Dame has kind of been struggling here and there too. What say you? What do you got? Who do you got? You got the luck of the Irish?
Yeah, I think I got Notre Dame in this one. I mean, they both kind of struggled here and there. I think Notre Dame has a better team. Georgia Tech's defense good. They're at home, but I don't think that's enough to stop the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, you know, me being Irish and all, and having the red beard, it's real hard for me to pick against Notre Dame here. Even on the road with Georgia Tech and, you know, Haynes King at quarterback, I think the defense for Notre Dame will be too much for Georgia Tech. But I will say I don't think it'll be the 11.5 that they're favored.
No.
I think it'll be like an 8-point game. So, we're on a roll. We are on a roll. Let's see. Next up, we got Miami Hurricanes going to Louisville. Miami is favored by 4.5. You know, I think at some point the Miami luck, the luck of the Hurricanes has got to come to an end. You know, they lost, they barely beat Virginia Tech. They barely beat Cal. I'm actually gonna go with the upset, and I'm going Louisville here. I like Louisville a lot more.
No, I can't go with the upset. I think Miami's the better team. Yeah, they almost got beat, but you can't take nothing away from them. They're a good, solid team, and Louisville doesn't scare me. I don't know.
Okay, okay. I should circle back real quick. The Florida State Duke, the Oregon Purdue, and the Oregon Purdue and the Oklahoma State BYU game. They're all Friday night games, guys. They're all on Friday night, instead of Saturday.
Mm,
Yeah, so we get Florida State versus Duke, ESPN 2, 6 o'clock Central, 7 Eastern. Oregon Purdue on Fox at 7, 8 Eastern. And Oklahoma State BYU at 9:15 on ESPN.
okay.
And I'm in a Central time zone, so all my times will be in Central. So you will have to adjust whether you're Eastern, Mountain, or Western, or whatever time zone you may be. So yeah, we got three good games tomorrow night, and honestly, I think I really want to watch that Oklahoma State BYU, but it comes on so late. It comes on so
Yep.
late, but I may try to get like a nap in tomorrow, and then try to stay up and watch it.
Yeah, that's all you can do, really.
So,
You know.
Next up is Virginia and Clemson, and this well, Clemson's favored by 21.5 here at home. It's hard. It's real hard to go against Dabo Sweeney, the Clemson offense.
That's.
I don't know. It just, if this was a different team, maybe. If this was, you know, an LSU, an Oregon, maybe even a Miami. But it is real hard to go against Clemson right now. And at home, at home, you know, Clemson is just a far, far more better team. And I think they have one of the overall, I think they probably have one of the coolest entrances. The the coach getting off the bus and going to the tunnel, meeting with the players, and then they walk down that hill onto the field. I that is an iconic entrance, and I love it, honestly. So I like Clemson. I think Clemson's the better team. Like,
Clemson 100% is the better team.
They're sneaky good. You know, they lost early. I think they lost in like week 1.
And, I believe so.
And everybody was just kind of like, uh-oh, what happened to Clemson? You know, like, Clemson's not who we thought they were. Oh, stop it. Clemson is exactly who we think they are. They were just, not ready week 1, apparently. But they're going to be ready for Virginia. Virginia, you're a solid team this year, and you've got some, you have some good wins under your belt, but I don't see Clemson being one of them. I can't see you beating Clemson on the road.
No.
Auburn at Missouri. Missouri's favored by 4.5 at home. Auburn is struggling, guys. They're struggling. And they don't know who their quarterback is. They don't know what they're going to do here. They don't know what they should do there.
It's an understatement.
Give me Auburn at Missouri.
Interesting.
I said it. And I'm not taking it back, and I'm not sorry. I think Auburn is going to go on the road and finally get it together a little bit and pull it. Missouri's been struggling this year. They're not who we thought they were. I thought they were going to be a playoff team. I thought they were going to be up there in the SEC. Nope. They're not who we thought they were. I like Auburn here.
Yeah, I like Missouri. I mean, yeah, they've been struggling, but come on, Auburn. Really? That's what you're going to go with?
Hey, Auburn, I'm telling you.
Nope, it's going to be Missouri. It's going to be that comeback game where they just dominate, make everybody forget that they've struggled.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see. I wrote this one down, and I don't think it's going to be much of a game, but, I mean, anything can happen. We have East Carolina at Army. Army is favored by 15.5. I wrote it down because they're undefeated, and I wanted to talk about them. They don't get enough. They don't get enough credit. Army and Navy both don't.
Yep.
The Cinderella story's got to end at some point, right? I mean, surely Army isn't going to mess around and stay undefeated, are they?
Yeah, they are.
I don't know.
They're 100.
I don't know what Army is doing, but they're doing something right. They're undefeated. They're one of, just a few teams that are, and they're at home. I'm going with the upset, though. I'm going with the upset. I think East Carolina. I think East Carolina does it.
I think you're full of bull honky.
Well,
Army's the better team.
I gotta have
and they're at home.
I gotta have a few upsets here.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean,
gotta have a few.
Maybe upsets. Not that. Maybe not that one.
Maybe not that one.
Now you're just trying to pick upsets for the sake of picking upsets.
Well, I like a good upset.
Yeah, but at least make it a realistic.
Well, anything can happen. Nobody realistically picked Vanderbilt to beat Bama, but here we are a couple weeks later.
Okay.
Okay. Next up is Wisconsin and Northwestern. Wisconsin is favored by 7.5 on the road. Northwestern had a pretty good win last week. Maybe they're riding that wave of momentum. But Wisconsin, they dominated in their last game. And I look for them to come to Northwestern to make the travel down from Wisconsin to Illinois and come out with the win.
Yeah, Wisconsin's a better team. I mean, but for the sake of picking an upset.
Oh, are you going to do it? Is he going to? No, he can't do it. He can't do it. UCLA and the Rutgers favored by 4.5. UCLA is struggling this year, but the last 2 games, Rutgers have lost after starting 4-0. I think this is where they get it right. UCLA, since joining the Big Ten, isn't what they were when they were in the Pac-12. I like Rutgers at home here.
Yeah, I like Rutgers. UCLA is just not it this year. And I believe their coach is Chip Kelly, ain't it still? Or do they have a new coach?
No, Chip Kelly is the offensive coordinator for Ohio State now.
Wow. Wow.
Surprised
that man can still be employed.
Arizona State versus Cincinnati, with Cincinnati favored by 5 at home versus Arizona State. Who you got?
Repeat that. Sorry, you cut out a little bit there.
Arizona State on the road versus Cincinnati, with Cincinnati favored by 5.
I'm gonna pick Cincinnati because last time I tried to pick Arizona State, they burned me. Not doing that again.
Well, I like Cincinnati. No, okay. Had I not found out that the starting quarterback for Arizona State is going to be out, Sam, and I can't pronounce his last name, but the starting quarterback for Arizona State is out.
Okay.
And so it's going to fall on a new quarterback. Had the starting quarterback, I would have picked Arizona State, but at home with a different quarterback, I like Cincinnati here. It's going to be a close one, I feel, but it's one that Cincinnati will be able to win. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. South Carolina versus OU. OU is favored by 1.5 at home. This isn't the same Sooner team that we're used to, guys. It's not. And South Carolina almost beat Bama last week. I'm going to go South Carolina on the road. OU is not the same OU team. They're not dominant, and I think South Carolina is a lot tougher than a lot of people realize.
It's in Oklahoma.
It is in Oklahoma. Favored by
Yeah,
1.5.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma just for the sake that they're at home.
Okay.
That's a ruckus crowd.
That is pretty loud. You're right.
I think they're pretty evenly matched. I mean, you're right. South Carolina came in and almost beat Alabama. So, I still like Oklahoma just because they're at home.
Okay, I like that. That's kind of one of the lesser marquee matchups. It's SEC play, so I mean it's still it should be a pretty good game. This one is a no contest. Charlotte versus Navy, and I've got Navy. Navy has been dominant this year, and the fact that the Army head coach came out when he was they were talking, and somebody was like, "Well, how do you feel knowing that it could be you versus Navy in the conference championship, and then you versus Army in the Army Navy game?" And the head coach said, "Navy still has a football team."
Oh no!
So Navy's going to come in, and they're at home, and they're going to smack around the Charlotte 49ers like it's nobody's business. They're favored by 17. That could easily be 20 plus. Navy's going to dominate this game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an understatement.
We got
I mean,
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if he was just doing it to feel the fire, or he really felt that way. But the man said it, and I think Navy's going to come out and make a statement and be like, "Oh, you forgot about us? Here we are." So, next up, ACC matchup between NC State and Cal. Cal is favored by 10 at home.
NC State and Cal.
Yep, NC State and Cal.
At Cal. Yeah, give me Cal here. Yeah. Cal's a better team. Is NC State ranked? For some reason, I thought they were ranked.
Well, they were at one point, but I think they lost a couple of games, and all of a sudden, I don't think they are.
Yeah, I like Cal. It's at home. They're the better team. I'm trying to think of anybody that plays for NC State.
No, NC
right
State
now.
is not. They're 3-4. Cal's 3-3.
Okay, so maybe it's a close game, but Cal's at home. I mean,
well, Cal is definitely. I feel like they're a better team than what their record shows. They were just a mere moments away from beating Miami. Okay, so they're at home. I think this is where Cal kind of turns it around a bit, and they. We talk a lot about Ashton Genty, but they have a stud running back of their own and a left tackle to run behind. So I think they're just gonna run that left side, run that left side, run that left side, and call it a day.
Yeah, I could see it.
USC on the road, favored by 7 versus Maryland. I know they're on the road. I like USC here. USC, I feel, is the better team. They almost beat Penn State last week. The game went to overtime. So I really think that USC comes out with a win.
Yeah, I like USC on the road.
Lincoln Riley, man, he's a great coach.
Yeah, and that's literally, he really does. He tried to put his guys in the best position to succeed.
Right. Okay, so next up, we have Colorado on the road versus Arizona. Arizona's favored by 3.
Yeah, I like Arizona in this one. They're at home. Colorado really isn't playing good. I mean,
they've improved from last year, and obviously they're going to because now it's Coach Prime's second season. But I like Arizona at home as well. I don't know. I just think that Travis Hunter is more caught up on trying to be the Heisman than he should.
Yeah.
He came out and said Ashton Genty is the favorite to win the Heisman. He has 95 carries for 1,200 yards. What do you think I would do with 95 catches? And I was like, what would you do? Maybe have 1,000 yards if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. And I'm not taking anything away. He plays both sides of the ball, and that's great. But in the NFL, you're not going to be able to do that. So you're going to have to pick one side or the other that you want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Arizona here. And honestly, I thought they would actually be more of a contender for the Big 12 this year.
Yeah.
But the Cyclones stay undefeated at home versus UCF? Yes, they will. Iowa State's favored by 14 at home versus UCF, and this is a no contest for me.
Yeah, there's no question.
And the only reason I even wrote this down for us to talk about is Iowa State's undefeated. Kind of tried to do the undefeated teams. I tried to talk about them. That way, if something happens, then we can go back and be like, well, oh snap, we both said that this person would win and they didn't. So
yeah.
Next up is K-State versus West Virginia. K-State is favored 3 points on the road at West Virginia.
What was K-State done this year?
Well, K-State's man, they're ranked. I think they're ranked 17th. But
yep.
K-State's one of those roller coaster teams for me this year. One week they're really good, then the next week they're really bad, and the next week they're really good. I like West Virginia here. It's a home game. That atmosphere is, going to be something that K-State's not really used to outside of playing at OU and at Texas in recent years. In the Big 12, though, look for this to be a high-powered offense game. I don't see much defense in this game. It's gonna come down to who has the better offense at the end, and I like West Virginia here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go West Virginia. I mean, for pretty much all the same reasons that you mentioned. K-State I don't know.
Next up is Iowa versus Michigan State. Iowa's on the road, 5.5-point favorites.
Yeah, give me Iowa.
Yeah. I picked against them last week, and I know that was a home game, and this week they're on the road. But that defense is too much. I like Iowa here.
Yeah, that defense is really good.
Oh, here we go. SEC play for all those that love the SEC. We got Kentucky versus Florida. Kentucky's on the road, favored by 1.5.
Give me Florida. Give me Florida. It's going to be a pretty even matchup, and I could see it going either way. But I'm going to go Florida on this one.
I'm going to go Florida because it's at home. If this game was in Kentucky, I would definitely be on the Kentucky side of this. But the swamp is too much for a lot of people.
Yep.
And DJ Lagway stepped in when Graham Mertz got hurt last week. And the offense didn't miss a beat. So UNLV on the road, favored by 7.5 versus Oregon State. And, I like Oregon State. I think in a different circumstance, it would go their way. UNLV, even though they do have like a loss, it seems to kind of be like a Cinderella team this year, and I like UNLV here.
Yeah, I like UNLV. It kind of gives that Cinderella story vibe.
Okay, we have one more, and then we get to our prime time key games, guys. TCU on the road versus Utah. Utah being favored 4.5. Give me TCU here. Utah just lost Cam Rising, so now he's out indefinitely. Utah's not as good as we thought they were in the beginning. They were ranked, and then they got smacked around by some teams that they shouldn't have. And I really like this TCU offense. They're kind of sneaky good, so I like the Horned Frogs here. Give me the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, I like TCU. If Utah had Cam Rising, probably be a little bit different story. But without him, it's just not going to matter.
All right, first key matchup: Nebraska versus Indiana. Indiana's favored by 6.5. Woo! What you got?
I'm thinking here.
Okay, while he thinks, I got Indiana. I really like Indiana here. I think Indiana can go to 7-0 if they get their run game going early. Obviously that'll set up the play action pass, and if you can keep that Nebraska offense off the field, you definitely have a great chance. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. A lot of people are kind of used to, college football games being high-scoring. This is going to be kind of more on the lower scoring. It could be like a 2017, or it could honestly be like a 17-14 ball game. Both teams do have good defenses, so I like Indiana to keep their streak alive at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Indiana here. Keep that streak alive. Stay undefeated. They're ranked too, aren't they? They're ranked like ninth.
Yeah, Indiana's 8 or 9. Yeah, they're ranked.
So. Yeah. Give me Indiana here.
All right, we agree on the first key matchup. Let's see. Next up is Michigan and Illinois. Both are ranked. Big Ten matchup here. It's at Illinois. Michigan being favored by 3.5.
So here's the deal. Michigan's been playing some horrible ball the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
But is it bad enough that you... No, it's not. I'm going to go Michigan.
Okay. Well, I don't think so, my man. I don't think so. Illinois is at home. Michigan has been playing crap. This isn't the same Michigan team that won that national title last year. They're at home. I like Illinois. I think they're, you know, overall, like this season, I think they're the better team. I like Illinois here.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. If you don't have anything to do and you're in Northwest Arkansas on Saturday, you might want to go check out LSU at Arkansas. LSU's on the road, favored by 2.5. I'm not sure what that entitles, but
I'm gonna take LSU here. I think Arkansas's play has been too up and down. And that really kind of scares me in a big matchup like this.
It does scare me. You're right. It does. Here's the thing. I'm torn between this because, I definitely want Arkansas to win this. But the last 2 times that I picked against Arkansas, Arkansas has won. So, for me, I really think that the game is going to be decided if Arkansas can do what they did against Tennessee a couple weeks ago and get that pressure to make the quarterback uncomfortable, Arkansas is going to win because their defense is pretty good. Their offense, Jaquindon Jackson, he's a stud. Taylor Green's good, but he's inconsistent. I got to go LSU here, and I hope I'm wrong. Once again, I hope I'm wrong. Please, everybody that are Arkansas fans, don't hate me. These are just my opinions. I like LSU on the road. Not for what many people believe. I just think that in a close game, LSU is a better team. Now, if Arkansas gets out early and can, really apply that pressure, yeah, they're going to win. But go ahead and give me LSU on the road. I actually thought we were going to disagree on that one for a minute.
No.
I almost picked Arkansas.
Oh.
But I want to see if the theory is correct. All right. Well, it looks like we got 2 more to go. And they're both in the SEC, and they're both probably the biggest games of the week. Although that LSU Arkansas game will be a definitely game of the week. Next up, we have Bama, Alabama, on the road, favored by 3 versus Tennessee. This isn't the same Bama team, guys. It's not. They got beat by Vanderbilt. Almost got beat by South Carolina. Kellen DeBoer is not the same coach that Nick Saban is. Or was. Tennessee's been struggling. And that scares me because they're a high-powered offense, and Arkansas found a way to shut them down. But they are at Rocky Top. They're in Tennessee. I like the Vows here. I like Tennessee. Give me Tennessee at home. I think their offense is just going to be too much. And I think that this is not the same Bama team that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, it's definitely not whatsoever. I like Tennessee here. They're at home. I feel like they're the better team of the two. So give me Tennessee.
Oh, we agree on a key matchup. I like it. I like it. All right, guys. It is the headline, the one that you've all been waiting for, the heavyweight fight of the week. We got the Georgia Bulldogs coming into town to take on Texas, the Texas Longhorns. Can the Bulldogs herd the Longhorns? Can they do it?
No. This is a game Texas should easily win. They're by far the better team out of the two. This should just be a Texas win through and through.
I agree with you on this. We were actually talking about this game at work today. And me and this other guy definitely say Texas. But this other guy, he thinks that Georgia is going to win. And he says that Texas isn't really that impressive because they haven't really played anybody. Listen, I don't care who they play. The whole world is about to see what Texas is about to do. Because when Georgia comes to town on Saturday, Texas, they're favored by 5. Now, I think it's going to be a close game. Yes, it's definitely probably going to be decided by a touchdown or less. But that Texas offense is good, and their defense is probably just as good. I like Texas, and I honestly feel that Texas is the best team in college football right now. I think, Georgia, if you go back a few weeks, Georgia almost lost to Kentucky, guys. Georgia almost lost to a Kentucky team, okay? Kentucky is not at the level that Texas is at. I just think that Isaiah Bond is going to be way too fast for the Georgia defenders to cover. And if it wasn't for a collapse by Alabama, they would have lost that game by Georgia should have lost that game by way more than what they lost to Alabama. The fact that they came back and made it, a game and it ended with a walk-off touchdown, that should not have happened. Alabama was up 28-0 in that game. I can promise you, if Texas gets up 28-0, you're not coming back. You might as well just go ahead and pack your bags and head back to Georgia because there's just hands down. Texas is the better team. I feel that they have a better offense. And I think that's honestly what it's going to come down to. The Georgia defense is no joke over the years. But I do like Isaiah Bond. Quinn Ewers is back. He's healthy. He's going to be playing lights out. Texas here. There's no way I can even try to argue with and go against him on this one.
Yeah. I mean, and for the people that say Texas hasn't played anybody, they said the same thing when Texas was going against Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. They said, "Oh, they haven't played anybody. Oklahoma's gonna dismantle them." No.
Isn't Texas running like a spread offense now?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I believe they're running like a spread offense, and that allows them to get their fast receivers on the perimeters. They have some good running backs too. Backs.
Yeah, I mean.
All right. Well, we wrapped up the college world. We talked about Thursday night football. We gave you the heavyweight fight of the week. I think it's been a good show. We are currently live on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube, answer the call. If you missed the episode, we're on Spotify. Go to Spotify in the podcast section, answer the call, tap on the bell so you don't ever miss the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening, whether it's your first time or you're a returning listener. We appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you. Please, if you want to help this grow, give us a follow, give us a like, comment, rate it, share it with everybody, share your new favorite football podcast, and together we will continue